because you don't just walk into jiu-jitsu and dominate and do well the very first day. You have to work, and then not only that, over time, even if you reach the top, you're always in a circular, cyclical process with your jiu-jitsu. So it keeps you engaged in this type of a process where you're always looking toward wholeness, having experiences, having surprises, new things, incorporating old things, and working towards some kind of wholeness, which is an idea, not necessarily a final destination, something that actually is, we're going to land and be finished. So it's one of the things that makes the art a really beautiful process, not only for people on their own, but for the groups. And, perhaps for man as a whole, as we see the growth so quickly happening in so many places, then we can start to wonder, how much of an impact this is really going to have on the human psyche as a whole. And this is really exciting because this is when I first met Master Carlos and was reading some of the Gracie Barra literature, I got really excited because it was so in line with what I was already doing at school. The psychology for many decades has been very focused on the mind, somewhat focused on the body, not very focused on the spirit. So in these times, we're embarking in a new era where psychology is taking on the challenge as medicine and other disciplines to study these things and to incorporate them into a body of knowledge that we can all kind of understand. This is a difficult challenge because putting body technology into words or psychological, philosophical terms is a difficult thing. One of the things that works pretty well is a concept with that Carl Jung came up with in the early 19th century called the transcendent function, where he believed that when the human psyche is aspiring on an individual path for wholeness, and so is the human psyche, the collective psyche. And in that process, he believed we have experiences called, there's a transcendent function where things happen to us, and these things come to us as surprises sometimes, but sometimes there are things that we don't expect, sometimes there are things many times things we don't want. And these opportunities are opportunities for growth and opportunities to create a healthy ego structure. Now, anyone that's done jiu-jitsu for very long can sort of begin to relate to this concept.